One second, everyone. Dealing with this big microphone. All right. I think this will work. Hope you're all having a fantastic day. We're here. It's Monday. Facebook was not cooperating this morning, but seems like everything's working now, maybe. With any luck. With any luck. You take a few days off, nothing works. That is how it goes. Hope you're all having a fantastic Monday. We may or may not have a chat room today. Who knows? You never know how it's going to go. Top of the morning from Reno. Definitely the top of the morning from Reno. Louis Philippe finished 16th in the Power Fest on Party Poker. Nice job using concepts from PokerCoaching.com. Great. I'm happy to hear that. It's what I love to hear. Good job, good work. It's always good to have a nice score. To be fair, 16th is a nice score, don't get me wrong, but it's like, oh, if I would have ran just a little bit hotter. I have been plagued by like 15th to, what's my best one recently? 8th place finishes, 15th to 8th place finishes. It's a good way to break even. It's not a good way to pay the bills. That said, if you're taking 16th out of 1,000 people in a party poker tournament, maybe it does pay the bills a little bit. So good job, good work. Today, we're going to talk about perspective. Perspective's interesting because really you see what you want to see to some extent, right? It's very important to realize that your perspective may or may not be actual reality. Now, I'm not trying to get into all sorts of out there stuff, but to some extent you kind of do make the things going on in your life, right? For example, you get to see what you see in other people. You get to see their motives. You get to play a poker hand. Say you make the second nuts. Some people see that and think, oh yes, I'm winning all the money. Some people see that and think, oh my God, I hope I don't run into the nuts. Or, oh my God, my opponent must have the nuts. And like you see some people, they wake up with the 9-7 suited in the cutoff. They get excited because they get to play it. Other people are like, nope, fold. And it's because they view the world differently. DP says he got 10th in the Sunday Storm. Ace-8 loses to 10-8. That's always fun. Sunday Storm. I remember there was one. I don't think it was a Storm. There used to be another one that it had 10,000 people and I won it. That was a lot of fun. It's like winning the World Series main event, but for 1,000th of the size? Is that right? Yeah, for 1/1000th of the size of the buy-in. You don't get to pick when you win. It's very important to realize that. For example, right? Some people could win that 10,000 person $10 tournament. I don't even know what they gave me, like 10K or something, maybe 20K, whatever. Some people are thrilled, while other people may look at that and think, oh my God, this is awful. I could have won the main event. I used up all my luck. My life's over, right? I mean, it all depends on how you perceive it. And what made me get to thinking about this is we recently launched Poker Coaching Premium, PokerCoaching.com/premium. And that made a lot of Poker Coaching members angry. For some reason. You may ask why. Well, it's because what it amounts to, I think, is people who had a Poker Coaching membership, they, pay their fees, and now they see some content on the site they don't get. We added a bunch of classes, and also we added a ton of new quizzes, right? And just for clarity, whenever we launch Poker Coaching Premium, we promise 2 quizzes per week and 1 homework challenge per month. That is what Poker Coaching got you. And now, Poker Coaching members get 3 or 4 quizzes a week, and they get the homework challenge, and they get a webinar with one of our other coaches, Matt Affleck, Alex Fitzgerald, or Evan Jarvis each month. And clearly that's like twice as much content as they were initially promised, right? So if anything, in my mind, they should be thrilled because we are drastically over-delivering. But in their minds, some of their minds, not all their minds, in some of their minds, they see we no longer have access to the whole site. Something's been taken away from us. Because we added a lot of classes, by the way, Poker Coaching non-premium members get access to maybe like 20% of the classes. As another bonus, right? You're always trying to over-deliver. Yet some people are very unhappy. And it's all about perspective, right? So then the question becomes, how do we make people see the perspective we'd like them to see, right? Because yes, Poker Coaching Premium is more money per month. It's 2.5 times as much money, but you get, I don't know, 20 times as much content. And it's always interesting whenever you launch something new, because sometimes you won't even figure out the way it works, but it annoys people, right? And DP kind of has it right. You give away a lot of stuff, but you can't give away everything. It's true to some extent. I mean, I have a team of, 11 people who work with me? I mean, think about salaries for 11 people, right? I mean, you can do the math. It's not cheap. And believe it or not, I don't make that much money from poker. So you have to charge fees, right? And whenever we launched Poker Coaching Premium, we added tons of new content. Took me a long time to make. We added, for example, the Cash Game Masterclass. Also, what it seems like we're probably going to do, we're not guaranteeing anything yet, but every month, whatever big product I release, we are just going to give it to the Poker Coaching Premium members. It's just going to be part of it. For example, this month, I reviewed the final table of the World Series of Poker main event, and also I've done that every year for like the last 10 years or something like that. I've been here a long time. I'm an old man. And that's just going to become part of Poker Coaching Premium this month. So if you're already a Poker Coaching Premium member, that's just going to be in your account over the next day or two. And if you want to sign up, you can go to pokercoaching.com/WSOP 2019, where I go through all the major hands from this year's World Series of Poker final table, and also every major hand from all the final tables from the last 10 years. And that's just there. It's just part of it, right? But inevitably, some Poker Coaching non-premium members are going to look at this and think, why don't I get this? And in my mind, it's because that's not what the membership includes. And also in my mind, it's that's not what you bought, right? And I guess for some reason, some people think that whenever you sign up to that Poker Coaching regular membership, you get access to everything Jonathan Little produces ever. And that's not how it works. And that, for some reason, makes people angry. It's almost like people who buy a car, and then next year they come out with a different model that costs more money, that has more features. And like, why are you angry about that? It's a weird thing for me to grasp, because I guess I realize the work that has gone into it. For all you all think we just upload the site and hey, it's there, it's easy. But no, we've been working on this for months, right? And you got to pay people to work on this stuff for months. And ideally, I make something off this because I've been working on this for months. And it's interesting. Yeah, keep it simple, stupid. Too many offerings make it too much for people to absorb. Yeah, that's perhaps very true. We have 2 offerings. 2 offerings on Poker Coaching, and maybe that's one too many. That could certainly be the case. Maybe we should just wipe out Poker Coaching regular and only offer the $100 a month membership. That might be the play, actually. That could be the play. I'll write that down. That could actually be the play. All right, good. Because look, I want to do whatever makes it... I want to make people happy. I certainly don't want to make people unhappy. And we have made people unhappy. And that's not good. I'm not trying to make people unhappy. I'm trying to make people happy. And maybe the answer is just get rid of the lower tier altogether. Right? Because there really isn't that big of a difference in the price. I tried to make both of these as cheap as I realistically can and not get hosed by paying everyone every month. But yeah, that's it. Then we have 3 options. The Inner Circle as well. We no longer offer the Inner Circle KCAP. That is done. It's not done. It still exists. It's still going to go on for the next 2 years because that's what we guaranteed. But that is no longer going to be the case. How do you deal with downswings? Keep a big bankroll and play a ton of poker. Read jonathanlittlepoker.com/bankroll. Ooh, it's hot in this room today. Why don't we accept PayPal? Jennifer, there's a few reasons we don't accept PayPal. You can send us an email at support@pokercoaching.com and we will accept that. Although we do accept PayPal for some things, I don't think we accept it for Poker Coaching Premium at the moment. All right, let's see. William says you're extremely happy without premium. Exactly. See, like William, in my mind, it's like an additional add-on, right? You want more add-on. That's it. But I definitely get the idea of the perspective of some people that they feel like, for some reason, instead of getting what we clearly outlined they were going to be getting, they thought they were going to get everything I ever produce. Great value because coaches charge way more than $100 an hour, and Poker Coaching Premium is only $100 for the whole month. It's true. I charge $500 per hour, and I have plenty of people who are happy to pay that. Like, imagine I put an additional tier on there. It was let's make it 2,500 a month, and you get 5 hours of coaching from me each month, and you get I don't know, you can send me all the emails you want. 2,500 a month. No one's going to buy that, right? Some people may buy it, but not a lot of people will buy that. Would people be pissed if I made that? And I don't know. It seems like absurd to me, right? That if I offered 2,500 a month, 5 hours of coaching, you can email me whenever you want. Maybe 2 people sign up for it. Would everybody else be unhappy? And I have a hard time thinking they would be. Yet, that's kind of the issue we're dealing with here. But it's not like such an egregious jump from 40 to 100. So anyway, that's one area of perspective, right? And I don't really know the solution to make people happy with this, because we've had some people unhappy. And I don't like making all of you unhappy, because all I do is work hard to do my best to help everyone. Tra says, $100 a month is an absolute steal. People don't mind spending $100 on dinner and drinks, but get upset about the new premium. I mean, look, I get it that we're not pissing off most people, right? But we are pissing off some people, and I understand you can't please everyone, but these are some people that have, bought my stuff in the past, and now we have somehow alienated them or made them angry. And that's hurtful to me, because I'm not trying to hurt anyone. I'm just trying to help everyone. And I think you can make your customers happy to some extent. What are the advantages to our site over various other sites? Go get a free trial and sign up. Some sites give free trials because they're not trying to hose you, right? There are a lot of sites out there that will not give you a free trial because they want to get your money immediately. But we give a free trial. I'm not trying to hose anyone. If you don't like the way we teach, if you don't like the interactivity of the site compared to the other sites, don't sign up, right? I want to help people who want to be helped by me. And if that's not you, then go do it. And the site can speak for itself. That was the purpose of it, to make a site that is interactive, helps you learn, and allows you to see very, very clear results. Am I playing overseas anytime soon? I was maybe going to go to Prague in December, but I elected not to because December's a busy month. Both of my kids have a birthday. I have a birthday. It's holiday season. My parents want to come visit. So I'm not going to go. My tournament schedule is starting to shape up. We're going to go to Fort Lauderdale and Hard Rock in a week. Going to be there for about a weekish. Then we're going to go to Atlantic City in September for Borgata's poker tournament. That'll just be a short trip. Then we're going to go to Jacksonville. I think we're going to be a bounty there. I'm not sure. They haven't confirmed it. I'm going to do that in October. In November, we're going to go to the Bahamas. I guess that's overseas. Does Bahamas count as overseas? I've been to the Bahamas more than any other place, so it doesn't feel overseas to me. We're going to go there for Party Poker's tournament. They have a gigantic series there. And then we'll take December off. So that's it. That's the schedule. 3 million Hard Rock. Gang, say hello. And you're from the Bahamas. Awesome. I love the Bahamas. All right. If y'all ever go to the Bahamas, contact Cheryl's, what's she called? Cheryl's Tours, or Cheryl's Taxi Service. She is amazing. She'll give you a tour of the islands. She's fantastic. Tell her I sent you. All right, let's see. You may upgrade once you finish the current quiz. There's only 400 more to go. Yeah, there's a lot of content there. We don't do the thing where, some sites will charge you an initiation fee or something like this, which, actually does make logical sense. Look how sweaty I am. It's so hot in here. The initiation fee idea makes sense, but, I'm not trying to hose you all, where, a lot of sites will charge you a few $100s up front for the past content, essentially. Also, that's a good way to keep people, because a lot of people don't want to cancel if they know they re-sign up. They have to pay this fee again. So anyway, that's that. We don't do that. Some people do that, though. We do the opposite of that. We give you a free trial. We let you try it for free because I'm not trying to hose all of you. So many people, they want what's bad for them. I'm trying to give you all what's good for you, and a lot of people just don't like it. Is your goal to maximize profit or generally improve the game and make the game more intellectual? Not necessarily trying to make the game more intellectual. I'm certainly not an innovator. I'm not the one running all the simulations. I have not solved poker, but I know people who have. They're way better at that stuff than I am. So outsource what you're not the best at. I'm good at conveying information to people who want to learn and want to work hard. That is my natural skill, and I think I'm at least okay at it. And to be fair, I don't want to be sitting here crunching numbers all day. I want someone else to crunch the numbers and then tell me the answer. And when I say tell me the answer, tell me how to utilize it in my game, right? Like I have a few people who run simulations all the time, give it to me, and now I can give it to you in a way that is easily understandable. A good example of this is our implementable GTO charts we just added on Poker Coaching. Go check it out, it's under the tools. Where for 15 and 25 big blinds, we have solved the game, and then we have made it to where, like instead of each hand saying 32%, 64%, whatever, we just averaged it out and selected a few hands to be 100%. So anyway, this was all inspired by a popular shove fold app that put out reshove charts recently that is just really wrong. If you use a reshove chart, when you have like 20 big blinds, you are just lighting your money right on fire. And I don't want you all to light your money on fire, right? Look, if there's misinformation out there that I think some of you are actually consuming, because people say, oh, what do you think about this new thing? I'm going to fix it, okay? Because I'm not trying to light all of your money on fire when you're playing poker. So, I'm happy to fix stuff that is just blatantly wrong that's being distributed. And that's something that is blatantly wrong that a lot of people seem to think is right. Because your options are not only shove or fold, your options are shove, call, or fold. Right? 3 different things. You get to call. Oh, goodness. Let's see. Had any epiphany moments in life? I don't know the exact moments, but essentially, there's the idea that you are in charge of what happens in your life. Look at your life. If you're unhappy with it, it's your fault. Fix it. Change things. Because you do have the power to change, assuming you have a smart device and the internet. In today's world, you really can change your life significantly. I think the current market is saturated with training sites. Most of them are just not very good, and their members will figure that out soon enough because they won't see results, which inevitably will kill those sites, and they'll go away. So always new people coming into the market. And fortunately for me, a lot of them are not actually going to teach their students to be a whole lot better, and that's fine. It's good for me. Do you know who Ryan DePaulo is? I do know him. I don't know him personally, but he credits me for his recent big World Series win. Fantastic. Another person who won, Joe Forsman. I think he won $396K in a $600 tournament this summer, one of our poker coaching members, so congrats to him. I have no interest in the World Series events at Playground Poker Club. No, I whenever I travel, I need there to be like at least a $3,500 buy-in tournament and a lot of other stuff on the side, unless it's like in Atlantic City, which is really close. Jacksonville, for example, is a 5-day trip. I can play a 20K, 2 5Ks, well, it's 5K, 1A and 1B, and a 1K and like a 500 heads up. So like that is a solid 5-day trip. I believe Jacksonville is something like one kind of big tournament, and then a bunch of other side events that'll be, they'll be good tournaments, but they're just not worth traveling to in my mind. Oh, let's see. Look, I'm not going to give my review on all the various training sites. What I think of Raise Your Edge, I think it's a nice course, not very implementable though. For most people. It's implementable for someone like myself who really, really understands poker, but if you're playing like 1-2 no limit, it'll be helpful, but I think there are way better ways to do better. Best Bet in Jacksonville, that is correct. Best Bet is the name of the casino. I'll plan on having a short deck section made. We've actually kicked around the idea of having mixed games, and I have a few mixed game coaches who have expressed interest in working with me. Maybe we'll do it. Maybe we'll just do it. Again, it's going to cost us a ton of money. Oh, but we'll figure it out. What site's good for tournaments? Party Poker and PokerStars have lots of good tournaments. All right, what else can we talk about perspective? Let's see. We've talked about poker hands already earlier. The idea of, like I flop the second nuts. Some people see the second nuts and they get afraid. Some people see the second nuts and they get excited, right? And the nice thing about poker is that one decision is very clearly correct, right? Each play, there is almost certainly a definitively correct play for each scenario. So your perspective over time will get pushed towards the optimal strategy, right? And to be fair, in life, say you're unhappy about the Poker Coaching Premium addition to the site, and you cancel your membership altogether, maybe you end up going broke because you stop studying the game. Or maybe you sign up to another site that doesn't help you as much, whatever. Maybe sign up to another site that helps you more. All of this clearly will give you information. The problem, though, is you only have a sample of like 1, 2, or 3, or 4. Whereas in poker, you get a lot of information, a lot of data back. Even if you don't understand the data, inevitably you'll realize, hey, I went all the way on my flush draw every single time I got it today, and I lost all my money. Or, whatever, I drew to gut shots every time, and I lost most of the time. I won twice, but I still lost money. You figure that out eventually. Depending on the scenario, of course. Gut shots are great, and flush draws are great. But anyway, you get information, which is interesting because in life, you often don't get information, so you have to pay attention to other people's results, other people, what they are telling you, right? Like I have all of you here saying that you love Poker Coaching Premium, and look, I know we have lots of very happy members. And inevitably, other people will see that, and they will think, okay, maybe I should actually do this and invest in myself. A lot of people are afraid to invest in themselves. They would rather, well, like some of you said, go out and party all night and spend $100 that way, and do that 6 times a week, or 6 times a month, not a week. Some people do it a week. All right, what's a good? That's a fun. I use the optimal strategy that Doug Polk uses, and then I throw it out the window. Oh goodness, that's funny. All right, this is not the one at the dog racing track. The other one in Jacksonville. It's a nice place. How do you figure out what your win rate is live per 100 hands? Figure out how many hands you play per hour, and then divide it by that. You play about 30 hands per hour live, give or take, for what it's worth. Have I considered going to Encore? Sure. I mean, look, I just don't have time for this stuff. I have 2 kids, and my weekends are full, and my weeks are full. I just don't have a ton of time. But I go to Parks. Parks is great, but they don't have big buy-in tournaments. Again, when I go to play poker, the goal is to make as much money as I possibly can, right? And also to invest as much money as I possibly can, because those two often go hand in hand. And if I can only play a 1K tournament, it's just not worth it to go, because I can go play a 5K somewhere else. How'd you build your bankroll today? I would just play cash games on the internet. I would play small stakes cash games and grind it up. What's my opinion on a quantum tournament? I don't even know what a quantum tournament is. I think essentially all these structures don't really matter all that much. What matters is how much are they raking you, and do you have an edge? A big difference between poker and chess is that you don't necessarily have a definitively right play. Well, essentially, you can run your opponent's perceived strategy into a solver, and it will tell you the right play. It may say do one play half the time and another play half the time, which means you're supposed to do each play half the time, but that is a definitively right play, assuming your inputs are correct. Most people are not very good at selecting the correct inputs, but you'll find the best players in the world are pretty good at selecting the right inputs. And inevitably, you put the right inputs, you get the right outputs, you play perfectly. That said, it's hard to do that. Do we announce the winner to the 6-month membership? We did not. We just drew it. I actually know the winners, but I'm not going to tell you all now. And I don't think I actually can. No, we're not going to try. Maybe we'll do that on Wednesday. Am I going to the Bahamas in November? Yes. All right, next. Let's talk about money in general, pertaining to perspective, right? Let's say you have $10,000 to your name. Let's talk about $10,000. Some of you here would love to have $10,000 to your name, and others here would be feeling very, very broke. Because it's all about perspective, right? It all depends on what you're used to some extent. And I think a lot of people will get in their minds that, well, first off, money is very relative, right? I just told all of you on pokercoaching.com, we burn through the money. So way more than $10,000 a month. And you understand, though, that now if I had $10,000, I would be in very, very much danger mode because, like, I spend more than $10,000 on bills each month living in Manhattan. Others here, though, like I know when I first started playing poker, I was working a $10 an hour job, right? And that made me what? Let's call it $400 a week. Is that right? After taxes, I don't know, call it $300 a week. I don't know, taxes aren't 25% if you make $400 a week. Whatever, call it $400 a week I made. So $1,600 a month is what, $20K a year. I made $20,000 a year. And if, like, I never had $10,000 when I was a kid. When I first started learning to make money as a poker player, I was like, oh my God, this is fantastic. Because back then I was making like $20,000 a month as a 19-year-old kid. But back then, like, I'd never seen more than $500 at any point in time in my life. So that was like infinite money. And to be fair, I was a young kid. But you see a lot of older people as well who have, spent lots of money throughout their lives, and inevitably they just never keep money on hand. Where am I going here with this? Where I'm going is money is very relative. And Like, I have people say to me a lot, like, oh man, I wish I had enough money to play that $10,000 buy-in tournament. I'd have a bankroll for life and never go broke. And that may be true. And that said, realize that it's very easy to grind up a bankroll from poker if you dedicate yourself to the game. Most people do not dedicate themselves to the game. What they instead do is they treat it like a hobby. And if you put forth a hobbyist effort into a game that requires a professional effort, you're not going to succeed. And that's what happens to a lot of people. And I always try to make it clear to all of you, if you want to be really good at poker and make significant money, you must devote yourself to it. And that's just not what a lot of people want out of the game. So, if you don't want to devote your life to it, I'm happy to help all of you not get hosed and lose all your money every time you play, right? I have some students who, they're very well off in life, and they used to go to the casino every few days and lose $1,000 playing 2-5. And they would do it like clockwork. And I've helped these players not lose $1,000 every day. Now they break even or even win a little bit. And they are thrilled. Because imagine they used to lose, let's just call it $50K a year playing poker. Now they lose nothing, right? Like, how much is that worth? And that's $50K a year for the next 20 years. Is that $1 million? A literal $1 million that they're going to save. And that's significant, right? And that is what I'm trying to help people better themselves in that manner. But understand that, like right there, a lot of you would be pissed if you only broke even from poker over the next 20 years. But this hypothetical person, who there actually are very clear real examples in my head, they don't want to lose $1 million over the next X number of years. They like to go play poker. They like to have a good time. They like to get away from their day-to-day life, right? And if they can do that without losing tons of money, they're even happier. They were okay losing $1 million every 20 years. But now they're not. Oh, hi. You want to come on the show? You want to come in here? Get your finger out of your mouth. Come here. You want to be on the show real quick? Oh, hi. Say hello to everyone.
Hi.
This is James. Whoa, stand up. Yesterday, James was a bad boy. He hit somebody in the park. Going back to perspective, if you caught James in that one moment, you would think he's the worst kid in the world. But, he's like, Daddy, why do you embarrass me? But we know he's actually a very, very good kid. It's all about perspective. Sometimes you're going to have a good day, sometimes you're going to have a bad day. And you have to understand that you're not as good as people say you are, and you're also not as bad as people say you are. You're somewhere in the middle. It's also important to realize you should never attribute to malice what you can attribute to ignorance, right? Like, a lot of people get angry when people, like, a lot of people get angry at their kids, right? But kids are just like, they're young kids. They don't know what they're doing. And it's your job to try to help them to the best of your ability. And it's a tough thing. It's a tough thing with the babies. All right, I need you to go. We're in the middle of a serious discussion. You're a good boy. Get your finger out of your mouth. All right, see ya.
No.
You want to keep talking?
Yeah.
All right, so we talked about money. Let's talk about success, right? A lot of people get in their minds that they must be more successful than their neighbors. Good example of this is when I was young and playing poker. There's this one guy who always wanted to try to win more money than me. I was making like $10 an hour when I first started. And if he wasn't making $10 an hour, he was unhappy. Inevitably, we passed him and he just ended up unhappy. But it's you have to figure out, like, what are your goals, and try to not be in a race with others. Yeah, you get this? Others can be an inspiration to you. They can be a motivation, but you should not be happy or unhappy in life based on how others are doing, because all you really have control of is yourself. You can, like, try to shoot the other person in the foot, but instead try to help everyone and build up everyone together, right? What are you saying? I'm talking right now. I'm trying to have a serious discussion. This is a serious one today. Let's see. All of you want to just talk about James. Fine, we'll take a minute and talk about James. You think James was instigated? No, the kid was laying on the bench, crying, and James walked up and popped her in the face. And then the kid's dad picked up James and shook him and yelled at him. I wasn't there. But, a little aggressive. It's lagging a bit. Well, sorry. Your bandwidth is fine. It's JL. I'm sorry. I can't fix the internet. It sounds like it's lagging because James is saying the same thing over and over again. Ugh. We'll sit here for a moment and wait for the lag to go away. Can we wait for the lag to go away? Can you say, no more lag?
No more lag.
No more lag. Time to call Verizon again, yeah. Man, what a mess. Dealing with Verizon is definitely a mess. Stop. James was just trying to tough up the other kid. There may be something to that. So, I need you to go soon. I have to finish my talk. Look, we have a lot more left to the talk. No lag on Twitch. Great. Seems like maybe it's a YouTube problem. Everyone having a problem is on YouTube. Should be results oriented in tournaments or play perfect poker, i.e. GTO. GTO is not perfect poker. I don't know who taught you that. Get over that immediately. James has a great perspective. Indeed you do. You have a good perspective, my friend. Yeah, success is a tough one because there are always going to be people more successful than you in life. And you can't let that bother you, right? If anything, I try to surround myself with people who are significantly more successful than I am, because hopefully your peers will raise you up to their level. And if you constantly hang out with people who are bringing you down, maybe because they're making you waste your time, your resources, really those are the two most important things, your time and your money and your energy. Maybe you get drunk every time you see them and you go home messed up every single time. I mean, if you hang out with people who bring you down, you will get brought down. If you hang out with people who bring you up, you will get brought up. And that is why I'm always trying to learn from and surround myself with people who are better than me. There's this idea that you are the sum of the 5 people you hang around the most. So I'm the sum of a baby and then 4 or 5 other people. You better make sure those 4 or 5 other people are really, really good. Stop. You gotta enjoy what you do, and what others do is irrelevant. It's true to some extent. All right, I need you to go. I hear Thomas crying. Go to Grandpa and help Grandpa, okay? Can you tell everyone bye-bye?
No, I'm not ready.
I need you to go. You're so hot. What else? All right. You have to accept what you have, right? You have to accept what you have and where you are and strive to do better. Understand that you put yourself where you are for the most part. Don't blame others. If you're unhappy with your scenario, don't do it. You know, if you're unhappy where you are, change things, get better, and work to better your life as opposed to just being angry and complaining about it, right? If you get angry and complain about it, it's not going to help you. People love to complain, but it certainly doesn't help them. It's way easier to complain than to change your life. Stop. All right, let's see. Change your life, that's right. So how do you change your life, right? You have to put a plan into place. Figure out what you want. Figure out where you want to go, and then engineer it backwards from there, right? Say you have no money and you want to have some money. Figure out how to get a hold of money. That can be using whatever skills you already have. That can be learning a new skill. That can be going to school. It can be all sorts of things. Stop touching this, please. And you need to figure out where you want to go, because if you don't know where you want to go, you're just wandering around aimlessly. And if you're wandering around aimlessly, you're not going to get anywhere. Right? So once you have your plan in place, you have to do it. You got to do it. You have to be disciplined. So many people don't want to be disciplined. They just want to do nothing, right? They want to goof off, have fun, throw a party, ruin themselves, etc., etc. And that is not good. Does Premium get you access to all the classes you have? Cash Game, World Series, Use, etc. Every month we're adding new stuff, John. Let's see. Let's scroll up. You want to exploit your opponent's weaknesses. That is what good poker is. That is correct. If your opponents don't have weaknesses, that's where you go to GTO. If you know anything about PKC poker, my lawyer advised me heavily to not get involved with them. I was asked by a few people who represent them, hey, you want to get involved and take everyone's affiliate money? I'm like, no, not really. Thanks, though. I did ask my lawyer about it, though, because they were promising tons of rake money. And, you know, a lot of people are happy to sell their souls to the devil for a $10,000 check each month. But we're not. We don't need that bad. So anyway, my lawyer said, Don't touch that. My lawyer is a gaming lawyer, by the way, not my generic lawyer. My gaming lawyer who understands everything about gambling and all of that. He heavily advised me against it. So, you should not do it. Also, my team advised me against it for general moral reasons, right? I mean, look, I do not think any of you should be depositing significant money into an American site American-facing site that is not regulated by America, because inevitably they may hose you. And it's true. I know this. And we're not trying to hose all of you. Oh, my lawyer, Mac Verstandig. Very good lawyer. Check him out. Mac Verstandig. He's gotten me out of a few pickles.
Thomas awake.
Thomas is awake?
Yeah. Oh no.
Oh no, what happened? You broke it. This was my little pad. Alright. Alright, here we go. Alright, okay. Let's see. He wants to hang out with Papa, indeed.
Papa.
Accepting responsibility for yourself gives you the power to change your situation. That is very true. Let's see. PKC keeps trying to contact you on Instagram. You ignore them. I mean, look, I understand people want to play poker within America, and I'm sure there is an optimal site to play on, but I'm certainly not going to represent them because I've seen how this story ends many, many times.
Papa.
Mr. Little has integrity, which is why you have such a sustainable site. I mean, that's my best, right? Do good work, help people, and inevitably, things will work out.
Thomas awake.
You're going to go get Thomas? All right, go get him. See you.
Hey, bye.
Okay,
No,
bye.
No.
I need to shut it. Okay, bye. James is out of here. Oh my god, look at the sweat he's put on me. He's so hot. I'm a big fan of playing the long game. A lot of people want to play the short game. They want to get rich now. They want to have success now, whatever. But there are two things that will make you win, that will guarantee you win. One is putting in the long game, playing the long game, putting in time. And number two is love. If you love the people you are helping and you want to help them more than you even want to help yourself, you pretty much have to win. The problem, though, is most people only love themselves. And if you only love yourself, you can do okay, but you're probably not going to be the best ever, right? And essentially, every super successful person I know and have studied and learned from, who I don't know, by reading books and whatnot, it turns out they all really love to help people. They love service and they love to better others. Sometimes to the detriment of themselves. I'm not going to try to do it to the detriment of myself. That's actual life skill. A lot of the people who become super successful do it to the detriment of themselves. And to be fair, let's say, hypothetical, let's say the only way to save humanity was to put my kids on a rocket and send them to the moon or to Mars. They're getting sent to Mars, right? What if I send myself to Mars? I'm getting sent to Mars. Or what if, we could develop a company, it's not going to be a poker-based company, clearly, but imagine we could make a company like Amazon or Apple or something like this that significantly betters the world long-term, but you lose your life and die unhappy. Might be worth it. Because, I'm spending one human life to help many human lives. I sit here in this office and sweat like crazy for all of you. So you have a great morning. Give you a little bit of good content to start your day, right? I don't mind. Because I know you all tell me that this is a beneficial thing for you. So I'm happy to do it, right? So anyway, time and love are what will win at the end of the day. And that is what I try to do. And I think all of you realize this. And inevitably more and more people will realize this. There are plenty of people out there who try to be successful by putting in time, but spreading hatred, right? Hatred's a great way to attract a lot of followers initially, but very often they don't stick around. And the problem with hatred and spreading nonsense is that people stop wanting to work with you. You see this happening in the poker entertainment space to some extent. There are some people who have really alienated people, and now inevitably the only people who want to work with them are the other bad people. And it's not going to work out too well. But if everyone likes you, they're at least going to be open to working with you and collaborating and building up together. So, I know it wins in the long run. I've seen it happen over and over and over again. And I think we're doing it right. PKC sounds shady. Look, I don't know if it's actually shady or anything like this, right? I mean, the site could be very, very legit. I've never played on it. I don't know. I'm not going to play on it because I don't need to sit here and play poker on my phone. It certainly is attractive, though, the idea of, hey, I can sit and play poker on my phone and be okay. That said, there's a big difference in liability between playing on the site and promoting the site, right? You're not like going to go to jail for playing on the site, but I've been advised you're like actually live to go to jail if the government decides to come down really hard if you're actively promoting the site and accepting payment for the site. There are a few ways the government can get you. We're not going to go into that today. Anyway, my lawyer, Mac, explained all this to me. And, look, I probably wasn't going to get involved anyway because I'm not trying to take all of your rake money. Let's see. Rest assured I'm helping people. Thank you very much. I do my best. You need to be transparent with what drives you. Yeah, I agree. If you couldn't get an AC to work in there, try a dehumidifier. Might at least make it more comfortable. K-Cap, you know, at the end of the day, I don't care about comfort. I want it to be hard. Also, we definitely cannot get an air conditioner in here. Definitely not. I have a fan right here. Yeah, you can see the fan. There's a fan right here, but it's a little bit loud for the show. I'm going to sit here and be hot so we have better audio quality. I realize the audio quality already is not amazing because there's a wall, like, literally right here. So, lots of echo. But, we do our best. Mac Verstandig is awesome. He is awesome. What are my thoughts on a kid winning $3 million at Fortnite? Sure. There are lots of games where young people win significant money playing the video games. It's kind of like being a professional athlete, except for you kind of have to be young to some extent because you lose your reflexes. Might be surprised how much a computer will warm up your room. Yeah, computer's hot. Actually, it's not actually even that hot today. I have a laptop right here. And the hottest it gets is like 100. And I have a cooling thing underneath in case it gets too hot. Any tips to avoid physical tells while bluffing? If you know you tense up and feel like a total tell box when you're bluffing, do the same thing when you're not bluffing, yeah. Can you play mixed games? I can play mixed games. I use the room for hot yoga later. Yeah, pretty much. What's my opinion on microstake Zoom versus regular? Definitely play regular. Regular will be way softer than Zoom. You vote, yeah, I have comfort over audio quality. Look, Jesse, I do not care about comfort at all. I like being uncomfortable. You all know I take cold showers in the morning. You all know that I go out in the snow. It's not comfortable. It's not even all that fun. But it builds character. And building character is highly important. You need to have discipline and you need to be able to deal with whatever life throws at you. All right. Jim says he finished some books that change your life. Fantastic. In Dallas, poker is illegal. You drive 2 hours to Houston or San Antonio and play in the card rooms. Yeah, be careful of those as well. I hear some of those get robbed every once in a while. Or not robbed, they get shut down. Maybe they get robbed too. They get shut down every once in a while. So be careful of that. Someone actually told me the other day that they won a tournament entry into, like maybe $1,000 buy-in entry into some end-of-the-month tournament at one of these Texas card rooms. Texas card room got raided and shut down, and then they just lose their entry. And then they're like saying, oh man, what legal repercussions do I have? The answer is probably like nothing, right? Absolutely nothing. And it's because you played in a place that may be somewhat shady. If the government's shutting you down, it's not a shady place, or it's not a legit place, right? So, understand the risk you take. If you have your money on these sites facing American card rooms, if they take your money, don't be shocked. Don't act like you got screwed somehow. You didn't. You know what you signed up for. You absolutely know what you signed up for. And it sucks if you do get screwed by the company, but I think if you do just a little bit of history research, a little bit of research into the history of the way the sites facing Americans operate, you'll see the vast majority of them don't work out so well. Sure, some of them have done a good job of skirting the law for a while, but seems like it doesn't work out for most of them. And the problem is you never know when it's not going to work out, right? So just assume the money you have in there is not your money anymore. It's long gone. Long gone. Let's see. Friend shared spot with you. Low jack makes 2.6 out of 24. Your friend has queen jack 2 on the button inside to rip it in. I'd probably just flat. Got called by king queen and busted. Thought on the jam. Jam could be fine. It's fine. I mean, I'd probably just flat. Study the solver. It'll tell you to flat there. But shuff's fine too. You can call a lot of hands on the button. They got them for money laundering and somewhat for illegal poker. Look, I don't know the story behind it, but I do know I had 2 different students email me in saying they had some end of the month tournament entry that they won, which was like a lot of money for them, $1,000 entry or something like this. And now it's just gone. They lost it. Why'd they lose it? Because they played in a shady place. So don't play in a shady place. That said, you can play in a legitimate casino, right? I mean, just like if you played a casino on the Vegas Strip, I wouldn't be shocked if some of them may be doing shady stuff and they may get shut down. It happens. You're probably way more likely to recover your money from those companies because they are publicly traded companies and they're very responsible to Nevada gaming boards. So like you're significantly more protected there than a random card house. But understand what risk you're taking and if they're worth it. What's the name of the mixed game book? Where is it? It's called Mastering Mixed Games. I helped get this book together. Dylan Lindy there, author of the book. It was actually funny. I got him to write this book, and then like a month later, he won $1 million in a World Poker Tour tournament. I'm like, oh, is he too rich to write my book now? But no, true gent. Did the book, made the book quickly, and it's great. So thanks to him for that. Let's see. How do you know when to move up in stakes? When you're beating the games and you're properly bankrolled. You've all seen the movie Casino. I don't think the movie Casino relates to casinos today on the Las Vegas Strip. Jim says you just moved from Texas because you can't trust the games anymore. I mean, yeah. If you have the means to, sure. I mean, the problem a lot of people run into is that they don't have the means to change their situation, and they aren't willing to work to get the means to change their situation. And that puts them in a pickle. You have to be willing to do the work. One time when I was young, maybe all of you don't know this, but I had, I don't know, maybe 200K in my bankroll. I put 100K towards a condominium, and then I had 100K left, and I lost like 70 of it. So I was down to 30K. Playing, $500, $2,000 buying sit and goes on party poker. Normal downswing, rough downswing, but normal. So what do? Do I just keep playing with the last 30K and hope to get lucky? No, we went back down to $10 sit and goes, and I decided I was going to win 100 buy-ins at every level till I got back up to the high stakes games. It took like 6 months. Won 100 at the 10s, 20s, 30s, 50s, 100s, 200s. Got back up to the high stakes games before they moved out of America. And I was willing to do the work, right? A lot of people would have just kept gambling, but I wanted to ensure I had almost no chance of going broke, and 30K is like an infinite bankroll for $10 games. And also, I'm always a little bit, I don't know, like insecure / lacking self-confidence is not the right word because that's not true. But I'm always unsure of what my actual win rate is. And back then, like I was making the decision to actually go pro and pursue this for a long time. I wanted to be very sure I was actually a winning player. And the idea of I'm going to win 600 buy-ins on my way up over the next 3 months is like, it's good data, right? It's good to know. We're just crushing the game all the way up. And that's good. So anyway, that was me being willing to do the work back in the day because I really did not want to mess up my life. Let's see. The worst beat of your career at the summer tournament. Enjoy it. It's only one tournament. You've seen recent posts about World Series not paying out PayPal withdrawals. Yeah. I know someone just won had a big score in ACR, cashed out in crypto, got scammed out of the crypto, and lost 100K. It's the risks, right? That said, WorldSeriesPoker.com, they will certainly cash you out one way or the other. I do know they have weird verification issues. Like I wanted to play this summer, and they would not verify me through the internet. They said you have to come in person, so it's like whatever. How's my trip to Napa? Trip to Napa was great. I met a lot of very cool, influential people. Some of them have startups. One of them who I like a lot, a guy named Johnny Bedencourt. Not sure I'm getting that right. He has a site called Clutch Prep, where they essentially go through college textbooks and help you, like a tutor for college textbooks. And he has a business, I don't know, 4 or 5 times the size of what I'm doing. And that's influential. That's good. You meet people who are a little bit ahead of you. It's a little bit ahead of you. Maybe a lot ahead of you, depending on how you look at it. And that kind of contact is very useful because we're friends, right? Like, he likes playing cards, and I like learning about business. So you find ways you can all help each other and move forward. He lives in Miami. I'm going to be meeting up with him. He's going to be playing a poker tournament or 2 at the Hard Rock in 2 weeks. Let's see. Won a Hold'em tournament yesterday using the knowledge you learned. Good job. Good job. You never truly know your win rate. That is very true. Best you can do is estimate. You've been struggling moving up after crushing the lower limits over a large sample. The players don't seem much better, but the rake is 3% rather than 1%. Well, rake is relevant, right? Figure out how much rake you're losing. Like, is the rake actually a big percentage of your win rate? And if so, that makes logical sense. You can also see if you're running hot or running poorly if you're playing online using, the various tools on the sites, on like Poker Tracker, Hold'em Manager, etc. But play a bigger sample. You're able to move anywhere in the U.S. to play poker. Where would I suggest? Either Fort Lauderdale or Los Angeles. Those would be my 2 picks. Probably Fort Lauderdale if you don't have a ton of money, because it's kind of cheap there to live. Probably Los Angeles if you have a lot of money. Which books do I recommend after studying Mastering? Sorry about that. Excelling at No Limit Hold'em. Get Excelling at No Limit Hold'em. That is by far what you need to check out once you're through Mastering. And also go through all the content on pokercoaching.com. All of it. What Jonathan said about not being willing to work is so true. You need to hear that. Well, Straight Fizzy, get to work. That was the last thing on my perspective topic today. Accept what you have. Realize you made it this way. Strive to get better. Set a plan in place. And then implement the plan. It's hard to make a plan, I mean, you can make plans as detailed or as not detailed as you would like. But you need to follow through and you need to do the work. If you spend your nights watching TV and goofing off and going out to party, and you're wondering why you don't have things going on in your life, well, sorry, you're not going to get very much in life. If you are willing to do the work, then maybe you will. I mean, to be fair, right? Like, you see some older people who, just live the dream, right? They travel and play poker tournaments, go out and party and eat at the nicest restaurants. And a lot of people look at this and wonder, how does this happen? How can I be like that? But you don't realize these people devoted their whole life to what they're doing. Obviously, some people are lucky and they just have rich parents or whatever. But I know a lot of, 50, 60-year-old guys who started with nothing, worked hard their whole life, got a little bit lucky, probably, to be fair, and now they have businesses that run themselves and they work hard. I mean, I'm able to travel and play poker and run my training site and it not just be stagnant for a week because I have developed a team, right? When I first started, I had no team. I had one other person who was helping me. And he was only helping me very part-time. And inevitably, you work hard and you expand. And I think, someone asked, is the poker training market saturated? Maybe a little bit, but a lot of people don't have the right teams behind them. And I've been very fortunate over the last 10 years to cultivate a strong team. And I understand it's not all me, right? I understand I'm the face. I'm out there, the one you see. But there's a big team behind me of people who I have personally vetted, personally like and enjoy being around. And I enjoy their work. And their work is the reason that all this exists. Can you all hear that baby crying? Baby, please stop crying. You played a lot online. Any tips for keeping track of the chips live? Practice at home. Get a chip stack across the table. Put some chips in the pot. See what it looks like. And learn to count at home. That way at the table it's much, much easier. How many hour sessions should you play before you determine if you're a winning or losing player? Depends on how much you're winning or losing, right? If you're losing a ton every time you play, then you're a loser. If you're winning a ton every time you play, you're probably a winner. If it's barely up or barely down, then it's tough to know. As your win rate is closer to 0, it's often more difficult to tell if you are actually a winner or a loser because you could be running a little hot or a little bad. I don't know. Get in there and play. And if you're winning a bunch of money, don't worry about it. And if you're losing a bunch of money, move down, study a whole lot more, etc., etc. Natty says, keep Keep a list, a running total of the pot as you're playing. I definitely think that's a good idea too. What's my criteria on deciding who I stake? Depends on the tournament. But markup is one of the most important topics. Maybe you're referring to pokercoaching.com. So on poker coaching, you all may not know this. We're going to be staking. We're experimenting, right? We're trying a lot of experiments. We're going to be staking a few people in tournaments where it's going to be $500 or $1,000 buy-in, something like that, where we're just going to buy them in. We're going to buy in 1 or 2 poker coaching students. We're doing this month with 2 people, I think for $500 buy-in tournaments. We get half of whatever you win. Probably not the greatest deal for me because, 50-50 on a 1 tournament deal is awful for the backer. But I want to help all of you, right? I don't know many of the sites that are giving backing to their students, especially for like a $40 membership or a $100 membership each month. So, I'm happy to gamble on all of you. So, what's my criteria for that? We're going to be picking the best students first, the ones who I personally know are studying, working hard, grinding, and playing. So that's how we're picking them. As for me personally, go to pocar.com, Pocarr.com. If you get through their very rigorous screening process, then you're probably pretty good. How do you feel about Heads Up Sit and Goes? They exist. They're a fun game. Very tough to beat unless you find a bad player. What's a typical solid hourly rate? The amount you play at the table doesn't really matter because each session is irrelevant. But, if you're a good solid player, you'll make about $20 an hour. 10 big blinds per hour is about as good of a win rate as you will have. You can have better. Usually it'll be worse. It depends on it. It depends. The cards do what they do. If you play well, it will eventually go your way. That's really it. You have to play well and make sure you're playing in beatable games. A lot of people don't actually play in beatable games. They play in these super high-ranked games. Someone asked me about these quantum tournaments earlier. I know some of them are like $200 buy-in plus $70 rake. It's like, yeah, you're not going to beat that. Sorry. All right, then. I'm going to go. William says, looks like you're out for the backing then because you don't have any time to do the homework. Make time. Make priorities, right? I've been battling this with my mind recently because I've been having a difficult time getting in the gym. Got in the gym, I think, 3 times last week. I wanted to do 5. Because it's not a priority, right? I want it to be a priority, but it's just not, given the way life is set up. To be fair, 3 is more than most people. But you get what I'm saying, right? You need to make priorities. And if doing the homework is not a priority, fine. And if you're not doing the homework, well, you're probably not going to get my money to back you. Sorry, right? We have plenty of people who work very hard on the site. I see how many quizzes they get through. I see how many classes they get through. Some people are through all the quizzes. They're through all the classes. They do their homework, right? Like, these are the people I'm going to be backing first because they're the ones doing the most work, right? You say you're still working full-time. I get it, but that's only 40 hours a week. Even if it's 60 hours a week, you know how much more time you have? You have a lot of time. But to be fair, maybe you have like a family and you want to go out on a date with your significant other and you want to go to the gym and it's just not a priority and that's okay. But understand, other people are devoting their life to it. And it is what it is. All right, that's going to be it for today. I have to go. I have to go get a haircut. I have to go to the dry cleaner. Look at all this. Literally, I have to go to the dry cleaner. All these clothes are just sitting here. I have to go to the dry cleaner. I have to return a food cooker. Got a lot of stuff to do. All right, have a great day. Enjoy yourselves. Be nice to someone. Help people out. Remember, have a good perspective. And at the end of the day, time and love will win. So, put in the time, help other people, and you'll get there. I have to go love on a baby out here because the baby is crying his head off. Have a great day. Bye-bye.